Good Sunday evening. Lyle over here at Cyclops Garage. Well, I got good exposure into the wonderful world of paint. I thought that most of this orange peel I could sand down and buff out. That is not the case. By the time I get it sanded down flat enough where it doesn't look like a sun-kissed factory, there's not enough mill thickness left to buff out. So I'm in the process of sanding it down again, going over it with 320, then I'll go over it with 400, wet sand it, and take a trip down to Akron tomorrow, down to Summit, and pick up another gallon of paint. I'm not sure what I did wrong to get the orange peel that severe. I'm going to try to do some research, and if any of you guys that know how to paint, or know how to paint better than I do, want to chime in, I am all ears. You know, I didn't expect this thing to turn out perfect, but it's just unacceptable the way it is right now. So, I'm not sure if the lack of ventilation played a part in it at all, if there was just too much overspray in here and it settled into everything. I don't think that was the case. Or if I had my gun settings wrong, or if I had the wrong size needle in the gun, or if the gun is just not a very good gun. One thing for certain is the gun had a very inexperienced operator. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that either. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and buy a better gun. I know Russ over at Double R encouraged me to do so. You know, if I'm going to do this kind of stuff again, maybe I ought to just do it. You know, I bought that DeVilbiss starting line kit, and seems like I had better luck with my Harbor Freight gun. And so, yeah. And it's edging up on 8:30 now. I think I've about had enough for today. Got a late start. I was a little burnt out from yesterday from all the painting. So yeah, you know. So if you've never painted a car before and you're watching this, be prepared for something like this to happen to you. If you had painted before, I'm sure something like this has happened to you. You know, that's just part of the learning process, I guess. So I'm going to give her another shake and see what I can do. You know, if it doesn't come out right this time, then I don't know. I guess I'll maybe hire somebody out and then see if I can see if the local school has, the local trade school has evening classes for painting or whatever. Because I'd really like to do this, but you know, it's just not right now. It's not working out real well. Like I said, it's got a shine to it, but it's rough. And I sanded down the worst of it. The roof and the trunk, they were really bad. And actually, even the sides, I don't know if you can see if I can. That's pretty bad. You know, and that's just an example. And the whole car is like this, except for a couple of small spots that actually came out pretty decent, you know. And I was fiddling around with the fan and the fluid, and it just, you know, like I said, it was laying down kind of rough, and I thought, well, maybe it'll smooth out as it dries, and it did not. So, you know, I did this and I just thought to myself today, you know, if I would have bought the lacquer kit from Duplicolor, I might have had better luck. I would have had to put down a lot more paint, but if their lacquer's like the old time lacquer was, I can remember watching guys paint their cars and you just put on a ton of coats and you wet sanded it and polished it and it was good for a while. But, you know, I've got way too many hours invested in this thing to not have it look right. I can't allow myself to let it go in this condition. Yeah, the camera's not picking up on it real good. Like I said, there's a couple spots that aren't terrible, but the rest of it, man, I was over here sanding, trying to get it flat, and I burned through the paint. And then over here, I did get it flat and get it buffed out, and then you see the primer there. So we'll give her another go, and like I said, if anybody's got any advice, by all means, let me know. All right, everyone have a good evening.